Well, the Yankees won last night, and for the moment, they have recaptured first place in the American League East. And things got pretty rowdy in the clubhouse.
I'm not fucking leaving!
Hey, Derek, how are you? This is Paper Talk. Obviously, I watch every one of your recaps. Love you, man. So I got a question here. By the way, nice win for the Yanks here, 4-3. Nice to see Rizzo with that two-run homer. But anyway, and I've been in the chat talking. Everyone gets on Clay Holmes. I'm like, what? I know he makes things interesting. I get it, but look at his numbers. He's 1-0. 0.00 ERA. He just got his 9th save. All right. So 12 innings, 10 strikeouts. His WHIP is 1.08. Why do we get on Holmes? Why are we always getting on Holmes?
Hey, appreciate the call, Tabor Talk. So the reason we get on Holmes is because he's been known to lose it at times. And he's not a strikeout pitcher. He's a pitcher that pitches to contact. So there's a few reasons that kind of panics people. One, he's prone to lose the strike zone. It's happened in the past. He's been decent with it this year. He's better lately than he was early on. And they mentioned last night that he's learning more about the type of pitcher he's becoming and so forth. But when closers lose the strike zone, it can cause a lot of anxiety. Also, the fact that he pitches to contact means that it can be tough to pitch him in extra innings because if you've got the extra inning runner on second base, all it takes is a ground ball with eyes and you're tied up. I don't mind him in clean innings, like if he's starting with nobody on base, nobody out. I feel pretty good about that most of the time because he's going to keep the ball on the ground. He's not going to give up a lot of home runs. But yeah, if he loses the strike zone, which he has done a lot in the past, it gives people a bit of anxiety. It does seem like he's gotten better with that this year, though, and hopefully he's on the verge of a monster season. He's also in a contract year, so this could be his last year with the Yankees.
Yeah, hi, Derek. It's old Eddie down here in Florida. Look, I've been watching the Yankees since 1960, but I tell you, last night, Monday night, and tonight's Tuesday night, I'm here sitting here watching the game. I've never seen worse umpiring behind the plate in my life. Okay, I've been watching a long time. And I'm not one for technology, but let me tell you this. I think they should use the automatic strike zone, electronic strike zone.
I'm glad I'm not the only guy who thinks that the umpiring has gotten significantly worse over the years. And I have a little bit of a theory on this. These umpires are aging. A lot of them are kind of old. And when you get a little bit older, your eyes start to go. Your reaction time starts to go. I think that younger umpires combined with a challenge system is the way to go. You should definitely have to pass some kind of an eye test to call balls and strikes because I don't know what some of these guys are looking at. Angel Hernandez especially is the worst in the league. I mean, it's unbelievable that these guys still get paid. I mean, and they're in a union, so they don't get fired. The weak umpires are protected because they have this, this contract at large for the umpires, and it takes a lot to get rid of somebody. And the other umpires, like Angel Hernandez, are not going to get rid of him. And this Wendell Stitt guy the other day ejecting Aaron Boone and then not taking responsibility for it. I mean, it's like they're injecting themselves into the game, and there's nothing that fans hate more than that. Just let the men play the baseball game.
All I can say, it's a long season, and maybe some of these guys will warm up, but I always thought the Yankees made a mistake in not going after Corey Bellinger and spending a few little dollars there and then going after Snell and bringing him in the fold, especially knowing that our starter, our key guy, is dealing with an elbow injury.
A few problems with that. One, they didn't know Gerrit Cole was dealing with an elbow injury until after he had already made one spring training start. You might remember that he actually appeared in a game this spring, and it wasn't until afterwards that he felt that he wasn't healing properly. The soreness was extensive. So Blake Snell would not have impacted that decision. The time to go after Blake Snell would have been months earlier. he's off to a slow start with the San Francisco Giants, probably because he didn't have spring training. And it's almost like spring training has some kind of a meaning. We saw last year with Carlos Rodon, he couldn't get it going after missing spring training. Aaron Judge misses most of spring training, and he's gotten off to a horrific start offensively. These guys need this stuff. And so that should serve as a lesson to players in the future who hold out, and to, frankly, teams that want to sign these players that hold out. Get signed early in the offseason so that you know what's coming. But, yeah, I think that guys will heat up as it gets warmer. That always happens. It seems like every year we talk about the Yankee bats being cold in the beginning of the season and then heating up around May or June and staying hot all summer. Now, last year they never really heated up, but I think they will this year, especially Aaron Judge. And I'm liking what I'm seeing so far from Giancarlo Stanton, actually.
Hey, Derek, this is Joe from Syracuse. I just wanted to say to all Yankees fans, please stop with all this Judge hate. He's going to pull around. He's already heating up. We'll forget about this in July. We'll forget about this in August. We'll forget about this in September when he has 30, 40 home runs. And another point I wanted to make was, with the Yankees' lack of offense in the last few games, do you think there's a chance they add a big key offensive player at the deadline?
How's it going? I agree with you about Aaron Judge. He's going to heat up. We're not going to remember this slow start in a few months. And I think you might be under when you say 30 home runs. I think he might have 50 home runs when it's all said and done, because this guy's gonna mash. And last night we saw some great positive indicators from him. Okay, now in terms of trade deadline bats, it really depends on who's not hitting for the Yankees. If Gleyber Torres continues not to hit, he's a free agent. There's no reason for the Yankees to hold on to him. They'll ship him out somewhere, and they'll go get a second baseman. I could see Luis Arraez from the Marlins being an option, because the Marlins are horrible this season. They want to get out from under his contract. Yankees could swoop in and pick him up without really having to pay all that much, and I think he would be a great addition to the top of the lineup. That allows you to put Volpe back down in the 7th spot where he was really, really hitting the ball well. And look, I don't see a lot of other opportunities to go get big bats. There's not a lot of them available, and the fact that the playoffs include so many more teams now means that teams hold on to their guys a little bit longer because they think they might make the playoffs. So I'm skeptical they're going to make any major deadline moves for offense, but I do think they will go out and get some kind of pitching, especially in the relief department.
You never, ever have enough pitching. So if Gio is going to be in the rotation, you keep him in the lineup, you keep him in the bullpen, and you just use him as necessary when you start building up games that have to be played.
I hear what you're saying. Sounds like you've been a fan for a long time. So here's my take on Luis Gil. I think he's a future fantastic pitcher in this league, but he definitely has to make some refinements in his command. We've seen him completely lose the strike zone at times. I like what he did last time out, where he didn't pitch at max effort early on. He only dialed it up when he needed to, like when he had 2 strikes or whatever. Now, if he could do that and somehow harness his command, he's not leaving the rotation, because he's going to be one of the most dominant pitchers in the American League. I don't love him in the bullpen, because it seems like when he's going max effort, as you do out of the bullpen, he loses command, and that's not something you want from a relief pitcher. I think his future is as a starter. I think that Clark Schmidt's inability to go 6 innings kind of pencils him more for that middle relief role should the Yankees have, 6 starting pitchers that are ready to go at any point once Gerrit Cole comes back. So I appreciate the call. I do think that Luis Gil is going to remain in the rotation for the foreseeable future, and we'll see how it shakes out.
Yanks are slumping. They look really bad. A lot of players not doing great, but 16-8, can't complain about that. So, I mean, that's just an indication that, of course, once they get hot, the guys that are supposed to play hot, they'll, just run away. They look good.
Thanks for the call, and I think that's an important call and an important point. The Yankees are off to a good start. As I mentioned, back in first place, and without Gerrit Cole and without a hot Aaron Judge, without Jonathan Loaisiga, without Efros, I mean, we got nothing from Austin Wells. Gleyber Torres doing nothing. Now, guys are going to be hot and guys are going to be cold all season. So there'll be times, I'm sure, when Glaber's hot and Judge is hot and Juan Soto's cold. Or, Oswaldo Cabrera goes into a long slump. Or Trevino isn't hitting and Wells is. But the fact that we're 16-8 without Garrett Cole, we won 2/3 of our games. Without Garrett Cole, if you had said to me before the season when we knew we were going to be without Garrett Cole for a few months, hey, you can skip the first 24 games and sign up for 16-8 right now, would you sign up for it? You're damn right I would. I'll see you after the postgame, everybody. Thanks for your calls. See you next time.